and things like that. So for me, I want to ensure that I know the values of my friend because nowadays there's open relationships.
There are. Since I have you all here, let's talk a little bit about Nia Long, someone I love as an actress. I mean, in so many of my favorite movies in the 90s. Anywho, her partner gets caught with a mistress publicly. So, terrible situation. Who cheats on Nia Long? But anyways, I think we've all learned anybody can be unfaithful at any point in their life. If you are the friend who has seen maybe your friend's partner with someone else publicly and it's not, it's not with their wife or girlfriend, do you go back and say anything? Rizwan, I'm going to ask you, do you say something if you see someone else's partner with someone else?
Oh, 100%, because these are my friends, and especially if I like my friend and I love my friend, and often chances are I do.
Yeah.
It's just you want to be able to go and have a clear conscience yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's not always the easy conversation.
No.
Especially if they're like head over heels in love and like they're like seeing everything through rose-colored glasses and everything else.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in and interrupt that vibration and say, well, here, got to sit down and have a quick chat. But the way I look at it, they're better off in the long run, right? Because it's better you coming to them and saying, hey, listen, I love you. I'm not coming here to like disrupt what's going on in your life. I'm just coming to tell you before you're blindsided. Yeah. Right? Because for me, even in past relationships, my thing has always been with anyone that I've dated, I've said, if you're going to go out and do something, if you come back and own up to it yourself, chances are I might be mad for a long time. God knows how long. But I'll probably forgive it, or I'll get over it eventually.
Oh, yeah?
But if someone else is going to come up to me...
No, tell me. And then I'd be like, you're gone. Okay, you were honest, you did it,
Little bait and switch, goodbye.
Yes, there's no way. I mean, I guess there's a way.
Depends on how you feel about them, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're actually like really remorseful and they're really, really upset about it, then you can tell. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Sorry, Karen, I'm going to let you go in a second, but are you afraid of catching heat from the friend? Because sometimes your friend really wants to be with that person and they don't want to hear that person was cheating on them.
You're going to interrupt that vibration.
You might actually damage your relationship with the person by being honest with them. Does that ever cross your mind?
Tracy, it's such a great point because actually I've seen friends of mine who like the whistleblower gets ushered out and they continue with their partner until it happens again and again and again, and then at that point it's like, oh crap, my best friend's gone. And it's terrible.
Karen, what were you going to say?
So I think there's no right or wrong. You get to decide because there's different types of friendships. So there's close ones, there's casuals. Sometimes someone who's a friend of a cousin's friend of a... So it depends on that relationship. So my personal opinion is if it's someone who's close to me, I ask myself a couple of questions. And the first one is this. Do I know enough about their relationship to let them know? Because I'll let you know, I'm a senior executive communication coach. So I work with a lot of CEOs. I love food. We meet over food pretty often. And there's been times where people have gone back to my husband and said, well, did you know? You know what I mean? Or I'll take pictures with clients and things like that. So for me, I want to ensure that I know the values of my friend because nowadays there's open relationships.
There are.
Right? But if it's someone who's truly close to me, I'm going to ask myself, how would I want them to tell me? And how would they want me to tell them? Because it's not the same. How I want to be told may not be how you would want to be told. And when I do so, I make sure that it's a fact. I've seen it. Monique hasn't told me that she saw it. I saw it. So when I come to you and say Tracy or I say whomever, I just want to share this with you with the most love. Here it is. Share the fact. Leave your feelings out of it. And don't catch feelings if your friend decides, once again, to stay or not. Your role, my attachment, is only to share it. They get to do what they get to do, and I don't want to ruin our friendship. That's how I just am in a friendship with other people.
It's a very important point because I was actually in that situation. So it was two friends of mine ages ago, and one friend said to me, well, her boyfriend actually tried to pick me up and this is what happened. And I said, okay, well, you have to go tell this friend in our friend group before I see her, because I actually don't want to see her and have this information and not say anything. I am unable. So I know maybe this is going to be the end of the friendship, but now I can't have a regular conversation with you knowing that this happened. So time goes by. I'm like, did you tell so-and-so that he tried to pick you up? No, I haven't yet. I'm like, okay. I'm going to be seeing her tomorrow, and if I see her and you haven't said anything, then I have to say something. So the conversation happened, and the friend who was effectively like cheated on, she said, I'm going to stay with him right now. And I had to be okay with that. We all had to be okay with that. And she had her reasons. She had her reasons for wanting to stay in the relationship. It's not up to me to say that that's good or bad. And I was like, okay, just wanted you to know. And that's how, and we're, you know, it all worked out fine in the end. But I would definitely say something. I am like you. I know I play devil's advocate, but I am like you. I would say something.
I would actually go out of my way to be seen too by the person. So like, oh, hey.
Oh, you would. You would. Get right in there. Get right in there.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, yes, it does play into, you know, the level of the relationship, how deep it may potentially be.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if there's a little discomfort there, then I kind of can understand. But it's also funny because my friend Rhonda, whose boys were Amari and Avery's mom, years ago when Jason and I started dating, Jason went to Wonderland. He went to Wonderland with one of his best friends who happens to be a woman.
Yes.
And so she was there, and then she calls me and she's like, hey, girl. I was like, hey. And she's like, where's Jay? I was like, he's at Wonderland. She's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm home. And he's like, oh. She's like, I saw him here with another woman. I was like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, okay, I was just checking.
Okay. And how did you feel about it, though? Did you feel happy that she checked in with you, or did you feel she was being sneaky and sly?
I'm a Scorpio. I need to know.
Okay.
I need to know and plot my revenge.
Yeah. And that's another thing to clarify in a relationship. Some of your friends will say, I do not want to know. Right. And other ones will say, I want to know everything. Yes. Tell me every scrap of info you've got, and if you're wrong, no problem. Bring it on. But you also have to have those conversations as well, right?
Yes.
It's a case by case, just like even you said, right? It's about you feeling comfortable enough to tell your friend, or your friend setting the boundaries and the expectation that if you ever know, or if you find something out, tell me or don't tell me. Yeah. But then you yourself have to check in yourself and be like, this is the type of person that I am. Yeah. So can I, I have to go to my friend and be like, I'm sorry, I can't see you or be with you without telling you these things. Because even a client once confided in me and she said, and relationships are all very, very different. And this put it into perspective for me. She confided in me and she said she knew that her significant other was cheating on her. And it was really, really awkward and really, really horrible, and I felt really bad for her, even in their home. And so I was like, are you gonna leave? And she's like, no. Nope. Because it's companionship.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, oh my goodness. It was like,
don't judge, Rizwan.
Not at all. I was like, you're such a strong person to not only
she needs to stay for her reasons, right? That's what you have to give people space to do what they want to do with their life. That's all you can do, right? Everyone's different. Listen, good chat. Thanks. And Nia, there's so many more fish in the sea for you, honey. You don't worry. You just move on.